Hey, what's up guys, it's Scar, back with another video, and today I'm going to be explaining the roles of trios and specifically what you need to do in the different scenarios of early, mid, and endgame for each of them. So first, I'm going to list all the roles and then I'll start talking about what you need to do in the different stages. So the three roles, guys, are the IGL, the support player, and the fragger. So the IGL will be the person making most of the comms. The fragger will be looking for kills to try get mats for the team. The support player will be carrying meds, well, most of the meds, everyone will be carrying meds, obviously, but the support player will be carrying meds for the team, a harpoon preferably to get materials from other loot, and just trying to help out the team like that. So to start off with, in the early game, so I'm just going to use Retail Row as an example because it is in the ring in my game. So as you can see, the shops here, you want to have, preferably, if you're comfortable, you can split it up a bit, maybe one there, one there, one here. But you want to be landing quite close. So maybe one in these two buildings, well, the two bits there, one in there and there, and the next one in here maybe, and rotating over to here and over to there. So I would actually recommend having the IGL in the middle, or on the strongest position, maybe the high ground. So I mean, retail isn't great of an example, but somewhere that is high up, preferably, and then support player and fragger just next to the IGL, because it means the IGL can help out the fragger and the support player if needed. But what you want to be looking out, so the support player, while they're gliding in, has got to be looking out for players. So say I'm the support player and I'm just gliding in along here, and I land up there on the crash pads. Before I land, I want to be looking. Is there anyone landing there? Is there anyone landing there? Is there anyone landing there? Are there people landing, and if so, where are they landing? Because that will really help you out. Just as a trio, it's huge information. It may not seem like much, but it actually really helps the IGL out a lot. And I mean a lot. Because as an IGL myself, I know if people land in certain areas, I know when I need to engage and how we can engage with them. So the IGL wants to be calling out whether we need to engage, things like that. And the fragger just needs to be looking to try just get kills. Well, they don't want to not listen to the IGL though, because the IGL is the person who will make the decisions. So the fragger needs to listen before just W keying maybe someone in there or someone over there, because there could be a full trio and it could really cost you your game, because you need to listen to the IGL, especially the fragger, because people will think the fragger is just someone that jumps in people's boxes. It really isn't. You need to listen to the IGL, because most of the time it is the most mechanical player, but you just need to be listening, because if you're the most mechanical player, you probably don't have too much game sense. Lots of players can prove me wrong, but you probably don't have that much game sense, so listening to the IGL and even the support player can really help. But you can still make suggestions. The support and fragger can always make suggestions for the IGL, but the IGL is the one that makes the decisions and just tells you whether you should do them or not. So moving on to the mid game, positioning. I'm just going to use this road as an example. So I'm going to build the support player out of metal. So this this is where the support player should be. Preferably at the back. So you want to be at the back, because it means if you get shot in the back, you can help and just protect the fragger, because the fragger probably doesn't have too much game sense. And I mean, I know there are fraggers that really do prove me wrong, but most of the time the fragger does have the least game sense. Okay, next, the fragger in the middle getting protected by the support player at the back and the IGL at the front here. So the IGL is going to be at the front, obviously, preferably with the best AR in the trio. So say I'm IGL and I won't be the tie up, but say I'm IGL and I see somebody, I can just look for tags. If I laser them, I can call whether we push, but if I don't laser them, I can just call whether we disengage. Just easy, just leaving the fight, and just make sure. One thing with lots of trios that doesn't help them is, even if your decision as the fragger or support player is better than the IGL's, but the IGL decides not to do that, there's a reason. There is always a reason why the IGL has done what they have done. And if you don't stick to their plan, then it can really cost you the whole game with all of you, really. It can really change it, because even if it's not the right decision, if all three of you stick with it, it can still pay off. So just make sure you do that. And now I'm just going to move on to the end game, tunneling when you're on height and when you're not on height. Okay guys, so next I'm going to be talking about the end game, so when you're not on height and when you are on height. Firstly, I want to talk about the roles. In the end game, you don't really need a fragger, in my opinion. That is really my opinion. You can have a fragger, but in my opinion, it's a lot easier to just have an IGL and a support player, and then the fragger can be a secondary support player. So let's just get started. So the IGL wants to be at the back of the top, in my opinion, making sure nobody tries to break in the top or break in the sides through here, because if they, especially if there are these edits, it's even better if there are those edits and somebody breaks in, you've got all the pieces. Even if there's a cone that they've got, like it, even if it's that edit and they do that edit, the two support and fragger, well, that turns into more of a tarper slash supporter in the end game, they will be at the front spraying, and the IGL can be at the back and just got really good angles to really just destroy a trio, because they might see two people all the way over there tarping, so they will think, oh, it's probably just a duo instead of a trio, and someone else is dead. But they won't expect someone at the back to laser them and call, especially calling out build behind or reset the edit behind you. And that is another thing. Building behind you. The IGL needs to have the job of building behind and resetting the edits like after you've topped, because you do not want anybody to break into your top. So the fragger that turns into more of a support player, I think should be tarping. they can do full tops, the triple tops, they can do these tops just through here, and they can also do some random tops, maybe something like this, because as you can see, I have actually connected to the ground. Not much, but I have connected so people can't shoot the back, because like lots of the time somebody will see it's only held up by something like this. This isn't very realistic, and they'll just break it, and the whole top will be gone, and zone will go back, and they will just need to waste all their mats again, and it's just really bad. So just I would actually kind of recommend that top. It only works either if you're above somebody else or if you're one above the bottom level. So just a reminder: support and fragger at the front, IGL at the back. Obviously not this far behind, but you know what I mean. So next is when you're on height. So when you're on height, you want the fragger again topping, and the support player a bit behind, looking with their harpoon, looking for mats and also looking for kills with the AR. So I would recommend, if you're just a few layers above somebody, just doing one top just with a cone or a floor. If you're not, if you're quite high up, then do these tops with the cone and floor like that. And then finally, for IGL, you want to be playing at the back on ultimate, because if someone grapples up to here, if someone grapples there, you've got a free beam because they might not expect you, and you've still got height, so the two at the front can still come up. And also you want to be looking back for flopper players down there. Someone could be coming up, and they could really steal height, and somebody could even be just sitting under you just here, and they could be looking for maybe a snipe or a beam on somebody at the front of the top. But that is the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching. That is it for me. Goodbye. I hope it helped.